morning Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Unions in Trinidad and Tobago plan nationwide strike to press for reversal of decision to close refinery at state-owned oil company. That's our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Wednesday, August 29. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. Members of the Joint Trade Union Movement, the JTUM of Trinidad and Tobago, Wednesday announced plans for a day of rest and reflection on September 7 as they rallied in support of the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, which is trying to prevent the state-owned oil company Petrotrin from closing its Pointe-à-Pitre refinery. The various unions representing nurses, teachers, drivers, farmers, communication workers and several others have directed their members to stay away from work next Friday to protest the government's decision. Petrotrin announced Tuesday the closure of its oil refining operations as part of an overall plan to restructure the company that has recorded billions of dollars in debt in recent years. Approximately 2,600 permanent jobs will be affected, with all 1,100 jobs in refinery to be terminated. The various union leaders say they stand in solidarity with the oil workers.
The Banking, Insurance and General Workers Union, we want to indicate here this morning at this press conference our unequivocal support for the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, but also for the citizenry of Trinidad and Tobago.
But I want the government to know, and I want the Petrotrin board to know, that what you have just done is announce war on the trade union movement. That is what you have done. Because this fight is not a Petrotrin or WTO fight. This fight is a fight for every single citizen of Trinidad and Tobago.
The labor movement will not stand idly by and allow this to happen. We will not stand idly by, and on the 7th of September, we are asking for all workers, because this affects all workers. Come out and register your dissatisfaction.
Don't declare a war against the labor. Labor is not in a war with you. You declare a war on yourself.
I want to tell Rowley, this is not County Limited. This is not the BWIA. This is not TTT. This is the leader of all union, which all of us throughout the Caribbean and in Trinidad and Tobago look up as a big brother union. And we're not going to take that damn stupidness from you, Rowley. Well, behave well yourself, because we're coming for all you. I say that today. JTUM and the trade union movement coming for all you.
Well, the Umbrella Trade Union Organization on Wednesday demanded that the plan to shut down the refinery be reversed. The Federation of Independent Trade Unions and Non-Governmental Organizations, FITON, says the decision is ill-advised and was hastily taken. It further charged that in announcing the move, the government had abandoned its publicly stated position of consultation and engagement with the recognized majority union at Petrotrin, the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, the OWTU, and has engaged in one-manism and governance by arrogance. FITON added that the decision was not backed by any sound and cogent financial, economic and social analysis and arguments, and it called on Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to instruct the company's board of directors to, and I quote, put an immediate hold on this ill-timed and ill-advised decision and follow the principles of good and proper industrial relations practices and engage the OWTU in meaningful discussions aimed at resolving this very critical socio-economic issue, End of quote. The union body warned that the fallout from the decision, coupled with other similar actions in the private and public sectors, would add fuel to the already toxic and rampant social decay and the attendant rampant crime situation. Meantime, the OWTU President General has warned Prime Minister Rowley that the closure of the refinery spells the end of his ruling People's National Movement, the PNM. Speaking shortly after his union met with the Petrotrin board on Tuesday, Ansel Roger said Rowley will find himself out of office.
And if anybody in the PNM have any sense at all, they too must care. Because he is taking them straight back into opposition. Here's where he will leave the party, into opposition. But you know, with this action, it's not just opposition. He will leave that party in shambles or perhaps even non-existent.
Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown says his administration will not be bullied into arresting alleged Indian fraudster Mehul Choksi. His comments follow a recent request by the Indian authorities to arrest the billionaire businessman who is believed to be in Antigua. Choksi, who is wanted for alleged fraud in his homeland, was granted Antigua and Barbuda citizenship in November 2017.
This is a matter for the court, and I believe the Honorable Attorney General made it abundantly clear that the matter is now in the hands of the Director of Public Prosecution. We're a country of laws. We have to respect the constitutional rights of our citizens, and I believe the officials in the CBI, they understand the process. My understanding is that Mr. Choksi's nephew is in a similar situation in the UK. I'm not aware that they're making any such demands on the UK government. Just like the UK government is a sovereign government, the government of Antigua and Barbuda is a sovereign government.
Antigua and Barbuda is one of several Caribbean countries providing citizenship to foreign nationals who make a substantial investment in the socio-economic development of the islands. Brown says his administration has already signaled its full cooperation in the matter.
But this idea that they can force us to take any decision that goes against the laws and constitution of our country, and one in which they are trying to force the executive to meddle in the domain of the judiciary, that is something that will not be tolerated. Having said that, we remain fully committed to assisting where possible.
Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness has instructed the Ministry of National Security to allocate funds to provide incentives for information that leads to the arrest and charge of child molesters and traffickers. That's child murderers, molesters and traffickers. The money will come from the $100 million Get the Guns campaign, which was launched last year. The Prime Minister made the disclosure when he met with the family of 14-year-old Yitania Francis, who was killed last week near her home in St. Andrew. During the visit, Holness made a personal donation of $2,000 to the teen's family to assist with funeral expenses. The Prime Minister also personally committed $100 million to Crime Stop for information leading to the arrest and charge of those responsible for the girl's death. Yitana disappeared last Thursday evening after leaving home, and her nude, partially burnt body was found the following morning. St. Kitts and Nevis opposition leader Dr. Denzel Douglas has reiterated a call for a national consultation on crime following the murder of the 32-year-old son of a senior government minister. Michael Mitch Liebert, the son of Minister of Public Infrastructure, Post, Urban Development and Transport Ian Patches Liebert, was shot several times on Monday night as he got out of his vehicle. Douglas said the fact that 3 people from varied backgrounds had been killed in the space of 10 days was a gruesome and disturbing reminder that crime is no respecter of persons. The former Prime Minister said it is inherently a social problem and should never be politicized. Douglas reissued the call for a national commission on crime comprising all stakeholders in government, opposition, the media, non-governmental organizations and the business community to share ideas about how to effectively reduce crime and to create the necessary interventions that would prevent crime from occurring in the first place. And still to come in Caribbean Newsline, OECS countries turn to Japan to help them deal with the sargassum seaweed problem. Stay with us. There's more news after the break.
This summer and fall, Brilliant Barbados is offering you hotel discounts of up to 40% off regular rates when you book through Expedia before October 31st, 2018. Discover our Dine Around program specials at participating restaurants across the island, starting from US $50 per person on 3-course meals. For further information and full details to book your Barbados holiday, visit brilliantbarbados.com.
I could work as hard and eat as much as a man. When
If you got beauty, then raise them up, 'cause every inch of you is perfect from the bottom.
I think the performance dipped a bit, so it's a 4 from me.
Harvey, John Star. I don't know. The first thing is the costume, them not do nothing, they not say nothing.
We try to understand, because it's very important that people understand how you can influence positively the change of law. What were your arguments for the minimum wage to be 10.10, was it?
Yep. So, you know, we believe fundamentally that hard work deserves fair pay. And when we are paying workers $7.25 an hour,
This month on Caribbean Passport, we check out the launch of the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, stop off in Antigua and Barbuda for their annual showcase, fall in love with the Caribbean aesthetic at Levy, and so much more. See it all right here on this station.
Grenada and other Eastern Caribbean nations have approached Japan for technical and financial support to help deal with the sargassum seaweed problem in the region. Grenada's Climate Resilience Minister Simon Steele said the priority at this time is to focus on managing the situation in the short and long term. We get more in this GBN News report.
Over the past few months, government has spent in excess of $1 million to clean up Grenada's beaches from the smelly sargassum seaweed. And with another invasion expected next month, outside assistance is being sought. Minister of Climate Resilience, Senator Simon Steele, confirmed that this is the longest period of the seaweed invasion in history.
Recent satellite images show that the month of September is going to be extremely problematic for us. There are large mats of sargassum out there that is moving towards us and our neighbors.
For the past 2 months, heavy equipment has been clearing the seaweed, but this has proven problematic.
There is going to be now a shift in approach to manual removal of the sargassum. And it's also recognizing, based on the sheer volume of sargassum that exists, the challenge is not to clear the bay. That is, at this time, physically impossible, but to target those specific areas along the bay that are causing the most problems, where the sargassum is decaying and generating noxious gases. We have also identified other areas where there are blocked drains that are exacerbating the situation. There is a pig farm close by, an effluent is running into the area, which is also causing a problem.
He disclosed that they are looking at a multi-pronged approach to deal with the issue on a long-term basis,
which includes the manual intervention, so the mobilization of our environmental wardens to hand clear those targeted areas, the acquisition of specialized equipment, both onshore and offshore, so the purchase and operation of those equipments. And we're working with the OECS Secretariat, and we are in direct contact with both Martinique and St. Martin, who have well-proven methods in place to address their problems or to manage their problems. Cabinet approved a team from Grenada to visit both Martinique and St. Martin so they can have first-hand experience as to what is taking place and for recommendations as to equipment acquisition and operations for us here in Grenada. In addition to that, we have approached the Japanese government on behalf of our OCS neighbors for both technical and financial support for the ongoing management of this problem.
And this week in Newsline Business, the Economic Growth Council of Jamaica is happy with the country's growth, but cautions against complacency. Last week, Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the country's economy was on the rebound. He boasted of improved financial management, which allowed it to pay more than 50 billion Jamaica dollars to creditors in July.
What we're celebrating is that for the first time in a long time, we only needed to borrow back $10 billion. So the nature of government's debt diet is changing.
Holness described the situation as a new era, which he says could be difficult for the average Jamaican to fathom since the country has not had such positive growth in decades. Two other parts to this new era are the devaluation of the Jamaica dollar against the US dollar and the 2.1% drop in the rate of inflation. Bank of Jamaica Governor Brian Winter had to publicly debunk claims that the bank was devaluing the dollar in order to increase the inflation rate. Now, the Economic Growth Council is welcoming the positive outturns in the key economic indicators, and this includes a 1.8% overall economic growth as of June, a 105% debt-to-GDP ratio, and a tax revenue intake of approximately 80 billion Jamaica dollars. Chairman of the Council, Michael Lee Chin, is optimistic that the Revenue Department is on track to achieve its target for 2018. He also believes the lowering of interest rates by the Bank of Jamaica to 2% will help to promote further growth.
We are being more tax compliant, which as citizens, all of us have to contribute and pay our fair due. We have a long way to go, but the trend is directionally right. So we're providing an environment whereby access to financing and access to credit and the can be leveraged to into growth.
Chin is, however, warning against complacency so as not to erode the gains made.
This is why the EGC, as lead growth enabler, has been taking the approach to aggressively collaborate with ministries, departments, and agencies, and bringing them together with private sector implementers to identify issues and hindrances to growth, and devise practical solutions that can lead to rapid, sustained, and achievable and inclusive economic growth.
Now, while the Bank of Jamaica projects that inflation for the September and December 2018 quarters will remain close to 3.5%, inflation will rise to the initial target's midpoint by June 2019 and should remain at that level over the medium term. And ahead in Newsline Sport, Guyana Amazon Warriors record their 4th victory in the Hero Caribbean Premier League. The details after the break.
This hurricane tip comes to you compliments the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Media Corporation. Be prepared. If the eye of the hurricane passes over, it will be calm for a short period only.
Dominica's World Creole Music Festival in 2018, October 26, 27, 28 at the Windsor Park Stadium in the capital city, Roseau.
3 nights, over 8 genres.
40 years of independence, one location, Dominica. The 20th edition of Dominica's World Creole Music Festival. For more information, like our Facebook page, Dominica Festivals. Visit our website, www.dominicafestivals.com for all travel travel, accommodation, and ticketing details. My love, my home, my Dominica, building a resilient nation. See you there! Proudly sponsored by the Government of Dominica and Discover Dominica Authority.
Sohail Tanvir's blistering 37 from just 20 balls anchored the Guyana Amazon Warriors to their 4th victory in the Hero Caribbean Premier League, the CPL, with an exciting 4-wicket win over the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots on Tuesday night. Chasing 169 after the Patriots were restricted to 168 for 7 in their 20 overs, Tanvir smashed 3 sixes and 2 fours to lead the Warriors to 169 for 6 with just 1 ball remaining. Captain Chris Gale and Evan Lewis, who finally found his nick, had looked on their way to guiding Patriots to a formidable total after carrying the score to 62 without loss after the power play. During his 40-run knock, Gale became the first batsman in the history of the CPL to score 200, that's 2,000 runs. Here now is a look at how the Patriots got to their target.
Will it be taken? It is! Wicket number 4, Imran Tahir strikes yet again.
Oh, giving yourself a hernia, maybe a double. Patriots at home are 1, 2, 4 for 6. That's where it's got to go. It has got to disappear back into the crowd where it came from Chris Green. There's another hero, Maximum.
Here we go. Here we go. Boundary time. Yeah. That's a good finish. You miss, I hit. Sohail Tanvir strikes. There she goes. Hero Maximum.
And that's cutting. Yeah, he's picked the slow ball, 150 up. They want to get into the 160s. They can.
Well, that's what he was looking for. Missing his length, Red Emirate. And the man cutting, getting under it, and finds the elevation. Down the ground. And boundary. Nice finish to the innings from Carlos Brathwaite. 168 now. The Patriots, they will be pleased with their recovery.
And in their run chase, the Warriors found themselves in early trouble, losing the wickets of Chadwick Walton and Luke Ronchi early on. Jason Mohammed came to the rescue, though, scoring 36 from 25 balls to help resuscitate the chase before Tanvir's heroics guided them to victory.
Lofted and taken. That's a big wicket. The young man, Hayden Walsh Jr., gets in the middle of this one.
He is not going to drop that. A wicket on a Nelson. Also, good catch.
So 36, the man that had been out there for a while is gone. It's 1-1-1 for 5. Well, that'll go. That will go. I think it's bounced, I'm pretty sure. Has it gone over it? Well, the umpire thinks it's a hero maximum. Oh yeah, it's been muscled. Prime time!
Primus!
Oh, that'll work. It'll run away. Hard surface underneath. It should be out. Is that cutting again? Oh, yeah, it is. I think that one was for the cameras.
Yeah, it turned out to be a very, very useful catch. Just for an ugly moment there, he almost misjudged it.
Primus goes for 11 off 9. It's 149 for 6. Game might be over. One more of those. Short and smashed. Oh, that should be the game, I'd say. Tampere is a hero as he hits a hero maximum. They need 3 from the last over now. Oh, run out. Oh, and 3 run outs, and there's the win. So Guyana, Amazon Warriors have chased them down.
West Indies selectors have recalled batsman Sunil Ambrose and left-arm spinner Jamel Rarikan to the test squad for the tour of India starting in October. Ambrose has not played international cricket since he broke his arm on last December's tour of New Zealand when he made an ill-fated test debut. Rarikan played the last of his 4 tests 2.5 years ago, but had an outstanding series against England Lions earlier this year for West Indies A. Veteran left-hander Devon Smith, recalled for the series against Bangladesh and Sri Lanka this year, has been dropped along with fast bowler Miguel Cummins. Led by captain Jason Holder, the Windies will play in 2 tests, 5 ODIs and 3 T20s during the tour. Chairman of selectors Courtney Brown, who congratulated Holder and his team on the excellent performance against Bangladesh, says the successes against Sri Lanka and Bangladesh should hold them in good stead during the India series. West Indies and India have played 94 tests against each other since 1948. West Indies has won 30, lost 28 and drawn 46 matches. Still in cricket, tickets from November's ICC Women's T20 World Cup went on sale Monday, with organisers hoping for a strong response to the relatively cheap prices. Fans will now be able to access tickets online and also be able to visit box offices, which open in the 3 host countries, Guyana, St. Lucia and Antigua on October 29. The first ever standalone women's T20 event will see 23 matches being played from November 9 to 24. And Cricket West Indies Chief Executive Johnny Graves said the sale of tickets marked a key stage in preparations for the tournament. Tickets have been priced from as low as $3 for group stage matches in Guyana and St. Lucia, while prices for the semi-finals and finals will range from $7 to $11. A ticket package for the semi-finals and finals has been priced at $15. And that's the sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Dominica's World Creole Music Festival in 2018, October 26, 27, 28 at the Windsor Park Stadium in the capital city, Roseau.
3 nights, over 8 genres.
40 years of independence, 1 location, Dominica, the 20th edition of Dominica's World Creole Music Festival. For more information, like our Facebook page, Dominica Festivals. Visit our website, www.dominicafestivals.com for all travel, accommodation, and ticketing details.
My love,
my home, my Dominica, building a resilient nation. See you there! Proudly sponsored by the Government of Dominica and Discover Dominica Authority.
Coming to New Jersey, the official national soccer team of Jamaica will face the national team of Ecuador. September 7th, 8 p.m. at the Red Bull Arena. Jamaica versus Ecuador with all their stars. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or at the stadium and at a Delgado travel agency near you. Free admission for children under 10. Restrictions apply. Jamaica versus Ecuador. Brought to you by SPD Sports. Don't miss this exciting match.
Again, the major developments of this day: trade unions in Trinidad and Tobago plan a nationwide strike in an effort to prevent the state-owned oil company Petrotrin from closing its refinery. And in sport, Guyana Amazon Warriors record their 4th victory in the Hero Caribbean Premier League with an exciting 4-wicket win over the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. Now that's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, subscribe to CarnaNews.com. For more of our programming, log on to CaribVision.tv and subscribe to CaribVision's YouTube channel. We'll be back here again tomorrow. But from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and do have yourselves a good night.